Hello, everybody. It's us again. We're back for more, but we're basically here for a short one. We did about almost a 2 hour presentation, and I want to thank Northern Lights and a shout out to Northern Lights for being there, because without your assistance, we wouldn't have been able to tell what was functioning or what wasn't functioning, or for that matter, if anybody's was even there, we could have been talking to dead air for 2 hours for all we would have known. But thanks to Northern Lights, he was in the comment section and was helping us to sort out the bugs to get this presentation to even be better than what we're trying to do. So thank you, Northern Lights, and a shout out to you for being there. And thank you for being at our $25 workshop. And I hope you got a lot out of it, because during that 2 hour workshop, not only did you get to know about how the sacred calendar works, but she got inside knowledge about the ancient Chinook global mapping, which is, I'm going to spill out a little bit of something that's not formalized yet, but we're in the contact stages of talking to people about reinstalling the Chinook trade route through the side of the whole Americas, from Canada, US, Mexico, and South America. In other words, uniting all the native people through trade across the entire continent on this side of the world. They liked our idea of the Chinook global mapping, and we're in the contact stage right now of having meetings about formalizing, talking about ideas about using it and utilizing it for economic purposes to get food, product from tribe to tribe through bar trade or sale. But that's a little bit of a heads up of what we're doing. It's only in the contact stages. Nothing's formal yet, so no promises yet. But at least we're in contact. But other than that, we would like to have more people coming over to the workshop more than they are. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm serious when I'm saying that you're wasting billions of dollars on that university over here that's called UNM, that's 3 blocks away. And they're trying to, explain to you about the sacred calendar and the ancient knowledge. And I can tell you right now, they're wrong. And I know they're wrong. For $25, man, you could get the real how to do things, or you could waste billions of dollars a few blocks away and get nothing. And your choice. I mean, if you're smarter than that, which I hope you are. And there's another thing I need to not only talk to about that, I need to talk to about Native people. We need to start believing in our own. And like I said too earlier, get off your red ass and start doing your homework and your research into your own culture. If you really care about your native culture, then get off your lazy red ass and do something about it, like I'm doing about it and like she's doing about it. And not leaving it up to a white man to tell you who you are. Oh, another orb went flying by. It went between us and it went that way. Oh, no, everything's reversed. It went that way. I got to remember I'm backwards. That was funny. It went right between us when I was getting upset. It went like a cannon. But anyway, what I'm over my griping about non-natives, and I think that orb was telling me I'm right, because it came right between us when I said, we need to get off our lazy red asses, and then orb went flying by, and I went, I guess it must be the ancestors saying that. Darn, that guy finally got the message out to those lazy red asses out there that are listening. When we going to start really being serious about our own culture, when we're going to get to do it ourselves? If we don't do it ourselves, there's no controlling the native narrative. I'm here to control the native narrative. You give it to a non-native, oh, you lost the native narrative. And then you got a religious political agenda on your hands. You don't have anything about culture. You might have something that might help the Mormons over there. You might have something that help the CIA maybe over there. But you're sure not helping the native culture over here. Because over there, it's just about religious and political agendas. In the old days, they said, we need to get away from the Pope and the King. Pope and the King? What do you mean, the King and the Pope? Yeah, why the King and the Pope? Because they're ruining our lives. We're going to go to America and we're going to get away from the King and the Pope. Okay. So they moved to America, and what do? They start relying on the state and the church. No difference. It's just like the King and the Pope again. State and church, state, king, church, Mormon. doesn't take a brain scientist to figure it out. You know, church and state. You think they're going to be honest with you? You think they're going to tell you the truth? You think they're going to tell you the things that we told you? You think they're going to tell you the real history of what's behind this world and the people that are here? Not just natives, but all people? I can tell you right now, no. You're a colonialist. You have a colonial agenda to exploit us and our resources to get rich as hell. Remember? It has nothing to do with preserving my culture. On my end, it's really hard when people that are native are relying on these Indian experts to define who we are. But they forget it's the very same people that are saying they're going to preserve our culture are the same people that destroyed it in the first place. We're not very smart either as natives. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. We need to get a little more smarter here because we're getting as bad as the tourists. Next thing you know, we're going to be petting buffaloes, you know. But maybe we get a few tribes that we don't want around to go pet buffaloes to get rid of them, you know. I know a good buffalo you can pet over there, you know.
So Roger wants to provide some information to people about a video that was just recorded on live stream and can be accessed through the Patreon Re-Indigenizing Minds.
Yeah, for $25, you can unlock the video on Patreon, and when it's unlocked, you can view the entire 2 hours of what I'm talking about. Everything that's been withheld from you about the sacred calendar and as it relates to 13 it can now be given to you for $25, or you could spend 25 billion over that UNM over there and get nothing.
And Roger explains the math between the for how it works as an interplanetary almanac, the 260-day calendar.
We explained in detail how you use 13 to utilize it not only for the planets, but also for the zodiacs and how it relates to the entire cosmos and how it's all mathematically so precise and perfect that, you know, there's no need for these weird, stupid fractions and decimals after a certain point. I mean, go to the workshop, and I'm challenging you people that are thinking pseudoscience. Before you accuse us of being pseudoscience, check out my equations. Check out my calculations. Just don't be a monkey see, monkey do. Because the monkey did it before you, you're going to do it to me because that's what the monkey did. That don't work anymore. Check out my equations, check out my calculations, and then say I'm wrong. Just don't do a monkey see, monkey do. There's a whole world doing that out there, you know. They don't even bother to check the facts or anything. It's just, you know, them following each other like lemons off the edge of a cliff over there. Check my equations, check my calculations, and compare it to your modern calculations. Numbers don't lie. You do. People lie. You lie. Numbers don't. And who is people? Society. So quit lying and check out my numbers, my calculations, and then accuse me of being pseudoscience. Then you'll find out it's the other way around. 3 blocks away is pseudoscience. This is natural science.
So the presentation that Roger does on the 260-day calendar, it's very mathematical. It's
mathematically perfect.
So, you know, it's pretty straightforward. He breaks it down. We have a presentation that we put together. So, yeah, check it out.
And we need a few Aztecs and Mesoamericans to check it out, too, because you need to get off your lazy red asses, too, and quit letting other people define who you are on the other side of the fence, too, because you're making the same mistake we're making on this side of the fence. We're allowing foreigners to define who we are. And it's annoying. All you got to do is use your red brain. You can figure out your culture. You can sit around the campfire and talk about old ancient things. And guess what? Just sitting around the fire and talking about it is going to bring it back. But running from it and relying on foreigners is not going to help. You need to get off your lazy red ass and go sit by that campfire and talk to each other and quit talking to non-natives about our culture. I mean, are we allowed to define who they are? I mean, can I go to Europe, you know, and say I'm the white man expert, you know, nothing
you
to say?
You actually do, Raj.
Well, in my own
the presentation,
in my own native way, yeah. But I'm doing it through truth. They're doing it through lies. There's a difference between me. I'm truth. I mean, check out their numbers. Check out my numbers. Check out my global locations, 3.25. I mean, that's the key to finding any place on this globe. And I already proved that on the other ones. So I don't need to say anything about that.
There's some prior videos on the YouTube and Patreon channel, I believe.
And now we're telling you about 13, because you could use 13 to be the key to the universe, to use it as an interplanetary almanac.
Cool.
And so there's things that are being taught in our presentation that nobody in the world knows, let alone doing a presentation about. I mean, for $25, you get all this knowledge. You go to my Patreon, there's things over there that's deciphered Maya, deciphered Hohokam, deciphered Mimbris art. If you want to know what's in that art, it costs you $3. But you want to spend $3 million over there. You can spend $3 and I can show you. But because you don't believe natives, because, you know, we couldn't invent the wheel because of your colonial nonsense that you want to lie to yourself so you could take the land and the resources and get rich as hell. And don't try to argue with me. If you want to argue with me, go look up the definition of colonialism online or in a dictionary and then try to argue with me about it. Define what colonialism is from Webster and let your own non-native white man expert tell you to your face what it really means, because it has nothing to do with education and resources, but has everything to do with social programming. And I just saw another orb go by. Well,
we're going to sign out now, but thank you for tuning in, and please check out the Re-Indigenizing Minds workshop for July on our Patreon.
Yeah, the orbs are photobombing us.
Patreon, I should say.
The orbs are photobombing us. They're everywhere. The more excited I got, the more they were flying around.